Hi, everybody. Gary Williams here again, reaching out to friends all over the world in the artistic community to see how we're all coping with this crazy, unprecedented coronavirus lockdown situation. The fellow waiting patiently there is an old friend of mine, Sam Beech. Hello, Sam. How are you doing?
Hello, how are you?
Where in the world are you?
I am in Sutton in southwest London.
I like that you very helpfully got your name in shot for us, so we never forget who we're talking to. Thank you. I wish everybody, it's like wearing a name badge. It helps me
Absolutely. Well, it's
at my age.
you're right. You're right.
So we met many years ago on cruise ships. You were working in the sound and lights in the technical department then, and you sort of escaped, didn't you? And you've established a great career for yourself on land, doing lots of fancy work, working with lots of fancy people. Tell me about that.
Fancy people accepting yourself, of course. I left cruise ships about 12 years ago now, I think, and went on to start working as a technical director on land. I now run a company in the UK called Imagine Believe. We have offices in Hong Kong and Melbourne as well, but effectively putting on events for people.
I mean, indulge me a little bit and just drop a few names of some of the people that you've worked with since you can't include me.
Gary Williams. I have also worked with, we had a bit of Beyonce, Kylie Minogue, Rihanna, have all had the opportunity to work with me, not them. And yes, so
well, that's three good names. So obviously, this virus situation, you're working in the entertainment business, and I mean, like me and everybody else, it's all just gone, hasn't it? All the work's just disappeared overnight.
It's I never thought I'd see anything like this in my lifetime. It's the industry literally disintegrated, and it's gone from what looked like a very, very busy year with some exciting stuff in the calendar to literally nothing.
Which is terrifying and horrible at the same time. But one of the reasons I've been doing these chats with people is to try and find, some positive messages and trying to find the positive ways that people are spending all the time that they've now find that they have. And you are doing, with a few friends, quite a remarkable thing with your time. Tell me about that.
Well, remarkable is a strong word, but
it is remarkable.
Sorry?
It is remarkable. It's amazing what you're doing. As long as we're talking about the same thing. I'm not talking about the roast dinner you did last week. You're doing something much more incredible than that.
No, neither am I. That was remarkable. So me and a few friends who did a photography workshop earlier this year in Delhi have started up a little initiative called Prints for India. So I suppose this was initially started out on all of our parts based on the boredom of not having anything to do during lockdown, and with all of our work having dried up. It sort of stopped us collectively sitting around in our pants with appropriate social distancing. So we are running we started a website to sell photography prints of our own and of other people's, to start to raise money for some of those hit by the COVID-19 lockdown situation in India.
And what kind of people are we talking about? Because I've read that the Indian government is providing support and that there are lots of organizations over there in India that are helping a lot of people. But I think you've identified certain groups of people that really are struggling particularly.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, there is support out there. I think one of the issues with India is that it relies a lot on migrant workers. Not one of the issues, but one of the situations in India is that they rely a lot on migrant workers. The issue with that is that a lot of those migrant workers don't really fall under anybody's jurisdiction to look after, and therefore they are left out in the cold somewhat when it comes to treatment, and also to just to simply keeping their heads above water. They've got no money coming in. There's no particular support structure there to help them. So people are suddenly finding themselves miles from home with no transport to get home and no money to eat. And that's somewhat shocking situation.
And I think you found out, I mean, you were made, obviously you were there in India, taking photographs, falling in love with that country, which is so remarkable. And I think you became particularly aware of this situation from the fixer who you were working with when you were in India. Is that right? And then once this happened, you started to get reports from him as to what was going on the ground.
Yes, so yeah, a mutual friend of ours, Ravi Misha, was doing some excellent work out there that was very much him on the ground, delivering food to these people. He was just going around buying big bags of rice and getting that.
And this was just from out of his own money. This wasn't a sort of charity endeavor organized. This was just him seeing a need, getting phone calls and spending his money on food to help people. And in fact, spending, I think, quite a lot of his own money.
Quite a lot of his own money, yes. So, so Ravi very much made us aware of this, I suppose, initially. Ravi has now wrapped up his operation, having done an immense amount of good. And I suppose what we wanted to do was look at organisations who supported that particular sector as a sector that had been neglected. So we have partnered with Goonj, who are firstly one of the most satisfying names to say of any charity I've ever heard of in my life, and secondly, do some excellent work out in India, helping to support people that are otherwise overlooked.
And so through the contacts that you made when you were in India, and it was a Magnum organised workshop, and for those people that don't know, Magnum is one of the world's biggest photography agencies. So that sort of gave you kind of access to some of the world's most incredible and most accomplished photographers, and many of them have got on board with this scheme of yours to sort of sell their prints of their photos for a limited time to raise money for this cause in India, right?
They have, yes. So what was initially going to be the equivalent of an online jumble sale of a bunch of photos that we'd found and accumulated from anybody who wished to help, suddenly has, in the last couple of weeks, spiraled into something that's quite a bit more than that. So we have got several Magnum photographers on board now, helping us out. Saurabh Hura, who's an Indian photographer who we met over there, a lovely man and an awesome photographer. He is on our site this week, and we are only selling his print for a week, and then we have a new photographer being announced on Friday, who to replace him.
And you can't tell us who it is yet, can you? That's the surprise. So if anybody's dying to know which, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a world-class Magnum photographer. It's going to be probably a household name in the world of photography anyway. So if they want to know who that's going to be, they should go over to the website. Tell me the address of the website. How do we find it?
I'm glad you asked, because I actually, with my Sharpie, prepared this little information card. So it is printsforindia.com, and for those on Instagram, we're at printsforindia. Currently, this is, I believe, backwards in my monitor, but
it looks good to me. It looks good to me. So tell me, I mean, just to give us an idea of the sort of numbers that, I mean, can you give us an idea of how much money how many photos you've sold so far, or give us an idea of the size of this operation so far? I mean, when did you start? When did prints actually go on sale?
So prints started going on sale last Friday, and today is
Wednesday.
Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So since then we've done okay. We've sold, I think we've sold 80 prints so far.
You're hoping it's going to be in excess, we hope, of £10,000, say?
We would hope so, yes.
Yeah, I mean, and I wanted to say that because for anybody that's watching this, when it started, you may have been hoping to, who knew, right? It could have just been a few £100s worth, but actually it's already been an incredible success, and people are, I mean, there's some remarkable names as customers that are buying lots of prints, and that's getting more photographers on board. And anybody that's into photography, if they go over to the site and have a look, there is an incredible selection of photographs there. And photographs, we should say, that if they were on sale under normal circumstances, will be an awful lot more than they are on your site. This is, I mean, if anybody wants to this is a great opportunity to get a terrific photograph at a remarkably cheap price, and at the same time supporting this incredible charity, right? Or this incredible.
Correct. Yeah. So all of our prints, no matter how renowned the photographers are on sale at £80 plus postage. The postage fee is £8, and that is to anywhere in the world. So it's just a flat rate for that. But yeah, most of these photographers certainly sell their images for a lot more than that under usual circumstances.
It's really a new situation, isn't it, if you're into photography?
It's good. And one of the things that, again, with the influx of photographers we've had, that's been fantastic, is that it's allowed us to curate a really, really interesting collection of images, rather than just being a bunch of random tourist snaps of India. There's some very interesting work up there, so it's worth a look.
And do you think this? I mean, what is the lifespan of this thing? Is it set to a limited time? Is it going to be over soon, or is this going to be an ongoing thing that could be there for years?
Again, I don't think any of us could handle it if it was there for years. It is very much a limited time sale of 4 weeks. 4 weeks, so a week of which has already gone.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we have got some feature photographers whose work is only going to be up for 1 week at a time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have to say that I've had a look at the website. There's so much amazing work on there, but still, my favourite photograph is yours. And I'm not just saying that. I always say,
this old thing. I mean,
such an amazing photograph. Listen, Sam, thank you for talking to me today. And anybody that's watching this, go to Prints for India, printsforindia.com. We can find you on Instagram easily. And I know that you're a little bit coy about the numbers and you don't want to set too high an expectation. But I think from what I've learned so far, anyway, it's really is going to make a huge difference to these the lives of these people that you're trying to help.
I hope so. And I think that the thing is that we're not trying to raise an immense amount of money here necessarily, but that money goes a lot further in India than it goes over here. So it's for people wanting fairly basic and simple things, and hopefully we're going to be able to help out a lot of them with the money we're able to contribute.
Really fantastic. Sam, thank you so much, and have a great day, and best of luck with it all. Printsforindia.com. Take care.
Thank you.